Hi guys, welcome to Mbali Talks. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 careers that I feel like are blowing up right now, but I'm not really seeing a lot of people talk about them to a point where you might find you've also never heard of them. So I know that what landed you on this video is the fact that you're trying to either find a side hustle or you're trying to find other ways to make money online, and or you feel a bit stuck in your career and you feel like you're just looking for something new that would probably reinvigorate you in terms of your energy for work, but also at the same time be able to help you to pay your bills. Well, you've come to the right video. Please stay tuned. Don't be shy to hit the subscribe button so that you can join our community, and also to hit the like button just so that this video can do well on the YouTube algorithm and this information can keep showing up in the faces of people who could actually use it. Right, so let's get down to business. The first career that I feel like is blowing up right now because of all the digitalization and a lot of social media content and a lot of companies realizing that they actually need great social media content in order for them to be able to communicate with their customers is the career of being a copywriter. You may be asking yourself, what is a copywriter? A copywriter is someone who ensures that all the marketing channels of any business actually have clear and concise communication. Whether it's on social media, whether it's a website, whether it's documented information like flyers, etc., the copywriter makes sure that the company and or the brand is actually using the right click words that are going to get customers hooked and or allowing customers to be able to understand what it is that the business is actually doing. Previously, this looked like a job that was supposed to be done by someone who was like an IT and their website designer. Website designers are great. However, some website designers, or probably most of them, are not very creative, which means there was now a gap in between the person who actually creates your website and social media content for you and the person who actually reviews and makes sure that this content makes sense in the context of the kind of advertising and marketing materials that any business is actually trying to create. That's basically what a copywriter does. And with all big businesses realizing the need for them to either go on social media, to be active with their web communication, to be active with the kind of content and materials that they're creating for their brands, and also to make sure that the communication and or the messages that they're trying to relay to their clients through their material actually makes sense. A lot of companies right now are looking for copywriters. Whether it's a physical business or it's an online business. And quite honestly, online, there's a lot of job opportunities for this. So if you're a person who's interested, I'd advise you to look a bit more further into this by actually checking out videos, probably on a platform like YouTube, that also talk about copywriting. According to payscale.com, the average copywriter at an entry-level position actually makes about 200K per year, which basically boils down to about 16.5K per year before taxes. However, this is just an entry-level position, which means if you're already earning 6.5 at an entry-level position, how much more when you're able to say on your resume, say for example, you've got 5 years of working experience. So if you're someone who feels like, I have a career, but I'm feeling a bit stuck, I'm looking for something new, try copywriting. If you're somebody who feels like, I was a student, but I'm struggling to get a job, try copywriting. There's a lot of places that you can go online for you to be able to get a copywriter certificate. One of them is a platform that I'm also actually using right now to take a digital marketing course. It's called Coursera. It's basically a courses platform that is being offered right now by Google. I do know that I think I pay about 200 Rand a month just to make sure that I continue to have access to the courses. But it's something that I would advise anyone to look into if you're trying to get a certification for basically anything, especially the things that have to do with digitalization, with digital marketing, social media content, etc. This is one of those opportunities that don't require you to go and get a 3-year or a 4-year degree and a postgrad, etc. But it's one of those opportunities that can still allow you to be hired worldwide, globally, from basically anywhere in the world. You could literally be doing a copywriter job while sitting all the way in South Africa for a company that's based in the US. That's how popular this career line is. That's how much it is blowing up right now. So it's definitely an opportunity that I'd look into if you're somebody who's looking for a new career. The second career that is blowing up right now that I feel like is not really being emphasized a lot, you've probably heard about it, but I still feel like sitting at home, you're still not understanding why you should actually take it serious. This is to be a social media consultant. And you may feel like being a copywriter and a social media consultant is the same thing, but it's not. A social media manager is the person who looks over all the social media pages and all the content pages of a brand. So a copywriter comes in to say, this content makes sense, this wording makes sense, this communication is the best communication based on these trends of customer analysis. And a social media manager is the person who comes in to say, after the copywriter has agreed that this content makes sense, This is where we're going to post it, on this social media. This is the kind of traction that we want this advertisement and or this communication to create in the eyes of the potential consumer. A social media manager will tell you what is lacking on your social media page, how you can actually improve. They will give you insights on the kind of performance that your posts make every time that you post. This is fast becoming a big deal for a lot of companies, which is why if you really look around, a lot of big brands which previously would have used, say, maybe a celebrity to advertise and have a big advertising ad that's going on TV, have now turned into people that are hiring influencers, because they are realizing that a lot of their customers and or potential customers are sitting on social media platforms. Hence the need to hire someone who can come in and say, this is how your social media should look, in the form of a social media manager. What I also like about being a social media manager is the fact that it's also one of those careers that don't require you to get a 4-year degree. You can easily decide to go on platforms like Google, #coursera, and be able to take their courses in order for you to change your career from whatever it is to being a social media manager. In addition, as a social media consultant, you don't just need to work for one company. You can literally even offer your skills as a social media manager on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, and or even on Skillshare, to help people to find you in order for them to be able to hire you, say maybe on a side hustle. So this is something that you can, 1, turn into a full-time career, get a full-time job, and 2, actually turn into a side business, because it's something that you can do in your spare time as well. Not only that, what I like about a lot of the social media platforms right now is the fact that they will give you their own built-in insights. So as a social media manager and or consultant, you're not going to be working entirely from scratch. You're literally going to combine the already existing social media insights for that particular brand in order for you to be able to say to your client, this is what you need in order for you to be able to create better social media posts. Or this is how you're supposed to be posting in order for your content to get to the kind of clientele that you're actually trying to attract. Guys, the truth is the world is changing. And it's changing in very different directions, but the one direction that it's definitely headed to is the one that involves a lot of internet, a lot of social media, and a lot of digitalization. If you're still thinking the only way for you to have a full-time career is for you to go and get a 5-year or a 4-year career, trust me, you could potentially be wasting your time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not discarding full-time careers that involve universities. I'm not saying that universities are becoming redundant. I'm just saying that there's now gaps in our lives in terms of the internet and what internet and social media has brought, that has opened up new career lines that a lot of people, especially young people, can explore. And even though I say young people, there's also people that are my age, say maybe you're 34 and you're feeling like, you know what, I have been this career for so long and maybe it's not the career that I feel like speaks to me the most now. These are the types of careers that you can easily change into. All you need is a course, say maybe for 6 months, a bit of experience which you can get from basically any company, because a lot of the companies, especially online, are opening up for careers like this. If you feel like this video is talking about something that you're actually resonating with or you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to hit the like button so that again this video can keep showing up in the faces of people who can actually use this kind of content. Without further ado, let's get right back into it. The third career that I feel like is blowing up right now but is not being spoken about a lot is something that I feel like is very close to my heart, because my husband and I actually started a business around this and have personally seen that business grow, which is why I thought let me include this point and or this career into this video. This career is for you to be a software developer. So my husband studied computer science and maths when he was in university, and the ideal thing would have been for him to do like an IT type of job. And even though he is an IT person, but he's not just an IT support person, because there is a difference. He actually furthered his experience and his career by taking a couple of other courses along the couple of years that have gone by in order for him to become a coder. Somebody who creates code that is going to help other businesses and companies to make their processes easier. So an IT person generally, by standards of what people generally understand, it's someone who comes in to help you with your computer and or your intranet. A software developer is not that. A software developer is the person who creates the kind of platforms that businesses need to use to communicate with their own customers. For example, if you go to a bank, say maybe online, you type in your password, you put in your username, you go into whatever facet of the banking app that you want to use, etc. Those systems, the way that the bank app works, the way that everything comes together and it makes sense, is coding that is behind the scenes, working around almost like a machine to make sure that the entire system works. all that is something that is done by software developers. What I like about software development is the fact that you still also don't need the standard kind of degree. For example, in South Africa, there is a school called Within Code that actually teaches young people how to code. And if you're really very good, they do help you to find a job once you're done. I'm not sure how long the certification is, so please don't quote me and say I said you don't need a career in order for you to be a software developer. But what I like about it, it's not the conventional way of actually getting into university. For example, in order for you to get into a school like Within Code, all you need is a matric certificate and actually very good results when it comes to your maths. The people that they're looking for are people that, first of all, like solving complex problems. Secondly, are analytical thinkers. Thirdly, are people that have a passion and are very good at mathematics. They have a way of them to be able to train you in a way that allows you to be able to build yourself a career in the software development space. And I know this because in our company, we've had a couple of interns that we've actually hired, and some of them actually come from platforms like Within Code. Even though we cannot keep them maybe on a full-time basis, but it's still a start. That person is at a better opportunity to be able to get a job in this here market right now where jobs are scarce than a person who did your typical accounting degree like myself. So the average salary for somebody who is at an entry-level software development position, which now means you are no longer an intern, you've done your internship, you've gotten a bit of experience, you now have your software developer certificates, is 300,000 Rand per year. That's basically 25,000 Rand per month, and this money can literally go all the way up to about 700,000 K per year, which basically means you could be earning 60K per year once you have a bit more experience in being a software developer. The fourth career that I'd consider for you to try out that I feel like is not being talked about a lot, and or some people are not even really understanding what it is. It's something that I feel like happens every day here on a platform like YouTube. And no, it's not starting a YouTube channel, guys. That's not the career that I'm trying to encourage in this video. Although, as a side note, it is a career that I would consider for you to consider. Anyway, this career is for you to be a coach. And I know when people think of coaches, they think, oh my goodness, now this person is supposed to come in and tell me how to live my life because all you're thinking about is a life coach. Guys, there's a lot of different coaching jobs that you as a person can do based on your own already currently existing qualification. There's career coaches, there are business coaches, there are life coaches, there are health coaches. There's coaches basically for any topic under the sky, so long as you represent yourself as someone who knows a bit more than the average person in a way that then puts you in that line to be an expert for that kind of topic. And the reason I'm putting coaching in this video is the fact that I do like careers and or qualifications that allow you to be able to do more than just work for one company. Coaching is one of those types of careers. You could be working for a full-time company, being their tax person, but you could also on the side be someone who helps people to put together their taxes. Not necessarily to file them, but to help them to say this is what you need in order for you to be able to work out your taxes. You could literally be in any industry right now and using the same qualifications to be able to create a different career line for yourself. If you're not sure how you can actually do this, there are platforms like Udemy as well as Coursera again. And I know I keep mentioning Coursera, but it's just I was so amazed at the fact that there's so many courses on that platform, and all I'm literally paying is like 190 something Rand for me to be able to access them. Of course, the price does change with the dollar rand change, but still it's a small amount for you to pay for you to be able to have access to all the kinds of courses and or potential career lines that you can actually take, and coaching being one of them. Another reason I'm mentioning this career as an option that you can actually look into is the fact that whether we like it or not, in the next 10 years, we're more likely to have a situation like what happened in 2020, which basically means we will find ourselves sitting in our houses, not being able to go anywhere, and therefore all our ordinary jobs that we wake up every day to go and do kind of become redundant at a time like that. We all experienced it, we were all sitting at home, we were all not allowed to go anywhere. Do you know that the people that were actually making money at that point in time were the people who knew how to use something like what I'm using right here to record, a camera, a phone, a microphone, all those people that could take that content and or the things that they were saying, put them online and make them accessible for other people. In fact, it's the time where I even started my own YouTube channel because I was sitting at home and I was bored. All I'm trying to say is, as a coach, this is a business and or a career that you can actually do without physically needing to see your clients. You just need to be able to have templates that are in line with the kind of coaching that you want to do, and obviously the expertise that is required by your potential client and or potential business that wants to hire you. Be able to put together those two, and therefore you have an entire career all to yourself, all the way in the comfort of your home, without you ever needing to leave. These are careers that have been made possible, again, by how big the internet is. That is what big data is saying, that we are headed in that direction. So if I were you, trying to find a different career and or still stuck in the no jobs category because you finished your degree, now you don't know what to do with it, start a coaching business. Try to find a coaching job. Take on 3 clients for a start that you're not going to charge anything, but who through your systems and your knowledge are going to help guide and coach them into the kind of results that they want for their lives, whether it's health, whether it's personal, whether it's finance, etc. Once those people have seen the kind of value that you're adding into their lives, it will be easier for them to word of mouth market you as a person in that kind of career line. And boom, before you know it, that's a full-time job for you to be able to run. The 5th and final career that I feel like is blowing up right now, and I would advise for you to look into if you're somebody who's looking for a fun job and somebody who feels like you're a bit creative, you're somebody who likes interacting with people, and still you're somebody who wants to be a freelancer in a way that allows you to own your time. This is to be a video editor for content creators just like myself. So I think I had mentioned this before, that I was actually using a video editor when I started my YouTube channel, mainly because I literally didn't know how to edit, and I honestly did not want to learn how to do it because I was just in a rush to make sure that the content gets out there as quickly as possible. And I realized that if I were to sit down with all these other articles on how to edit and where to edit and the editing softwares that are out there, I was never going to even get my first video out on YouTube. So of course I went ahead and had an amazing video editor by the name of Bianca. She's based in Cape Town. I've actually put her details in the description box for people who are content creators looking for somebody who can actually edit their videos. Because I understood that it's not me who can be able to do everything as a person who's trying to create content. For all I know, I'm just good at sitting in front of the camera, probably researching the kind of things that I'm supposed to talk about, and then actually relaying them in a video. But in terms of the actual editing, the nitty-gritties that are in between, I'm not good at them, especially because I am a technophobe to a certain extent. That is where you would actually come in as somebody who's editing videos for people like myself. There's so many YouTube creators right now. You could literally be reaching out to people via their DMs to say, hey, hi, I see that you're a content creator. I was wondering if you're looking for a videographer and or a video editor, and these are my services. You could also go as far as posting your services on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and even maybe creating a career on a platform like Skillshare, teaching other people how they can actually edit their videos. It may seem like this last point is counterproductive, but my idea is you need to try to stretch yourself to make as much money from different ways as much as possible. So by posting on a platform like Upwork or Fiverr saying this is the kind of work that you actually offer in order for you to be able to get clients, and also by posting the same work on a platform like Skillshare where people are going to pay you to teach them how to actually do those things, besides the everyday clients that you're going to be getting as your business grows, it's easy for you to be able to turn that into a full-time job and or a full-time business for yourself if you're somebody who feels like, again, you have a bit of creativity, you enjoy interacting with people, you love people's content, but you're just not that good at making content. For all we know, you're really amazing at being a video editor. What I like about the careers that we've actually spoken about in this video is the fact that a lot of them have a lot of flexibility with regards to where you can work and when you can work. This is the kind of line that we're all headed into. I don't know how many times online I've seen an article about how people that were working in full-time jobs and in offices before COVID no longer want to go back into the office to work full-time. That's because a lot of the way that we used to do systems is changing in the world right now, which means there's now a gap in certain areas for new careers to emerge. It's literally one of the best things that have come out of the fact that we actually stayed in our houses during COVID. There were opportunities that came out in the career space, including all these 5 that I've recently counted. And these are only 5. There's so many other careers out there that a lot of other YouTubers like myself have mentioned in their videos that you can explore if you're somebody who's looking for a new career, or you're somebody who feels like I cannot get a job with the career and qualification that I actually have now that I'm done with university, whether because the industry is saturated or it's just not a good time in the economy for those kinds of jobs. The jobs that are mentioned here and or the careers that are mentioned in this video are the ones that you can actually take an opportunity on and see if you cannot build an entire life for yourself around them. With all that said, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can join our amazing community. And also, please do remember to hit the like button. Just out of the fact that you've stayed until this far in the video, it must mean that you've gotten a bit of value out of it. Otherwise, I'm going to see you guys in the next Mbali Talks video. Cheers.